Welcome back. Let's dive right into the deep end. It was a big week for Congressman Rick Larsen as the U.S. House took action on a handful of his priorities.
That includes the bipartisan FAA Reauthorization Bill and the Coast Guard Authorization Act. Congressman Larsen joins us this morning to continue the conversation. We have so much to talk about today. Let's start off with this. As the lead Democrat on the Transportation and Infrastructure Committee, talk about the FAA Reauthorization Bill that now goes to President Biden. How is this going to fund flight safety and sustainability?
Yeah, thanks for asking about that and starting with that first. I hope your audience is sitting down because I have something shocking to say. This was a bipartisan bill done in the old school way where members actually listened to each other, put a bill together, brought it to the floor, it passed the Senate with only 4 no votes, and passed the House with only 26 no votes. Worked really hard to ensure members had their needs met. And overall, this bill increases consumer protections, including automatic refunds for canceled flights. It maintains U.S. leadership in aviation and aviation safety. Investing in our airports, about $4 billion a year will go to airport construction around the country. It's going to strengthen and diversify the aviation workforce. We're investing in aviation workforce development grant programs that includes a set aside to help bring in underrepresented communities that historically haven't been able to take advantage of these really good paying jobs over time. So the president supported it. Secretary Buttigieg put out a strong statement. We had 6 committee hearings, heard from thousands of stakeholders, a lot of member priorities in this. Really a great achievement, I think, for the House and the Senate to get this done.
And Congressman, this also includes revised whistleblower protections. Can you expand a little bit more on that? What changes were made and why was it important to make those revisions?
Well, we've seen over the last several months what's going on at the Boeing company, the commercial space, and the need to protect whistleblowers when they have something that they want to bring forward. And so just strengthening the environment around whistleblowers so that their pathway to being a whistleblower is clearer. Their pathway as a whistleblower is protected legally as well. But we built on some of the things we've already done in aviation safety as well. When we passed a certification reform bill in late 2020. And we have a lot of new authorities in that bill that we passed a while ago. And now that the FAA has a confirmed administrator, someone the president selected and the Senate confirmed, that new administrator, Michael Whitaker, got in a job in November, late last year. He has the authority now to use those authorities to hold Boeing and, frankly, any airplane manufacturer or airplane component manufacturer in the states, hold them accountable to high quality and high safety standards.
Let's also talk about the Coast Guard Authorization Act, another bipartisan accomplishment. How will this support Coast Guard bases and missions here in Washington state?
Yeah, this bill passed out of committee with a strong vote. Then we passed it on the floor of the House of Representatives with a strong vote. Now, holding it, it'll go to the Senate, and they got to do their work. But this bill is important. The Coast Guard is trying to change its footprint in Seattle. For instance, to accommodate the new polar security cutters or icebreakers, as they used to be called, as well as something called offshore patrol cutter, which is their second largest cutter. These are major seagoing vessels, and so the bill supports the Coast Guard's work in continuing that work down at the Port of Seattle. Makes a major investment into the quality of life for coasties as well throughout the country, and of course, including those in the Northwest. Coast Guard is still about a $20 billion a year service that we're only funding to the tune of about $15 billion a year. There's a lot more support that we can give the Coast Guard. One important thing I do want to point out with this bill as well is that the U.S. House of Representatives agreed to strengthen protections for victims of sexual assault and sexual harassment in the Coast Guard. This after decades-long knowledge the Coast Guard had, and then covered it up of sexual assault and harassment at the Coast Guard Academy. The current commandant is trying to clean that up, and this bill goes further to help protect those folks at the Coast Guard Academy.
That's great to see. Congressman, you recently participated in a news conference to shed light on the recent report that traffic fatalities hit a 33-year high in our own state. Talk with us about this major issue in our state and what's being done to address it.
Yeah, 810 or so deaths due to traffic in Washington State in 2023. It's a 33-year high. Last year alone, there were 45,540 or so traffic fatalities in the country. Now think about T-Mobile Park, where the Mariners play. That holds just over 47,000. You could fill T-Mobile Park, almost nearly every seat, with a traffic fatality. That's how serious this problem is in the country. And so what we did yesterday with the National Safety Council is to have a press conference to highlight the importance of investing in safer roads, safer streets, and safer communities, with both advocates for traffic safety and victims of traffic safety, those who managed to live through some very harrowing experiences, but also remember those who died. So there's a long way to go in this country to get to safety zero, to get to zero traffic deaths, traffic fatalities in the country. The bipartisan infrastructure law has dollars in it to help our communities plan for safer roads and safer streets, and the counties that I represent in the North Puget Sound have received grants to do that planning, and so that they then know where to target best the dollars they have to make their streets safer for the communities that we have the privilege to serve.
We definitely don't want those deaths to keep on going up. It's definitely important there. All right, to lighten the conversation a bit, you're the co-chair of the Congressional Soccer Caucus, which I just found out about today. And you recently played in the 10th Annual Congressional Soccer Match. How does the match benefit the U.S. Soccer Foundation? And we also heard that you're quite the baller.
Well, I'll let people like Alexi Lawless, former U.S. men's national team player, brag about my skills. I'm too humble myself to do that. But yeah, the U.S. Soccer Foundation raises money every year for a variety of things. The Congressional Soccer Match is a Democratic versus Republican member with special guests on each team as well to play. We play at Audi Field, which is the home of Washington Spirit and DC United. And it raises money for the foundation. And what they do with that money is to invest in communities that might be soccer deserts. It's not hard to play soccer. It's hard to play it well, but it's not hard to play it. You need a small patch of grass and a ball. And, I played when I was a kid just to pick up, when we played pickup games, you just put a stick in the ground. That was your goal. If you knocked it over with the ball, that's a score. But it's so easy to play. But in some places, some communities around the country, there's not even a safe place to play. And so the Soccer Foundation and the Congressional Soccer Match is used to raise money to bring soccer into underserved, underrepresented communities, to give young kids a chance to exercise, to have fun, to enjoy the camaraderie of a soccer game as well. And who knows, maybe they'll be the next Jaden Shaw or Alex Morgan or the next Tyler Adams. You just never know.
Yeah, and even though you're a baller, your team did not win. And that's why the trophy's upside down, right? In the picture we're showing.
I took a picture with my good friend Darren LaHood, as a Republican co-chair, and Alexi Lawless, who coached the Republican team, and I turned the trophy upside down to express my extreme displeasure at the horrible officiating and the play calling out of the Republican side.
Oh, no.
It was great. We had a great time. It was a wonderful experience. And I know we're always accused of not being very bipartisan at times in Congress, and a lot of that's true. But we do have opportunities as members of Congress. There's a congressional baseball game. There's a flag football that the members play against the Capitol Police to raise money for the Capitol Police Fund. There are games like this where we get a chance to get out there and kind of be people with each other every once in a while, have some fun doing it. Meet some people who are way more famous and accomplished than we are, and do it for a good cause. So happy to do it.
That's important too.
Yeah, I'd love to see you all coming together. Better luck next year, right?
There's always next year.
There's always next year. Thanks so much for coming on Arc Seattle.
Thanks a lot. Appreciate it.
All right, that's fun.
I like wrapping up that interview like
too.
that. They have fun in Congress.
They do. They can,
Yeah.
yes.
Well, it's not something people talk about much.
We're talking about parenting while behind bars.